We're seeing great success in big data analytics innovation and deployment in the United States. It's an area where the U.S. really does lead the world. Not shockingly, as a result, we're seeing lots of other economies and countries around the world, in Asia, in Europe, in Latin America, looking to impose barriers to slow down the U.S. leadership in big data analytics and in cloud through restrictions on the ability to have data move across borders. It undermines the great consumer and the great entrepreneur benefits that we're seeing from the internet and from big data analytics. So number one, we need trade agreements to include provisions that enable the flow of cross-border data. The Trans-Pacific Partnership has such a chapter in the drafts that are currently being negotiated. It'd be a huge win for consumers around the world and for American big data analytics companies, innovators, and providers. Number two, you need the internet to remain a trusted platform. The biggest single risk is cybersecurity, whether it's hackers out of China or Russia or criminal gangs. Making sure that we continue to robustly address, take seriously encryption and cybersecurity is going to be essential if we're going to want trusted platforms to collect data, to analyze data, and to share in real-time data so that individuals and researchers and consumers can take advantage of it. Third, there are regulatory risks and barriers. The most obvious that I can see right now are discussions in broadband over something called Title II, which is an effort to take the regulation of telecom networks back to the old regulated utility model that was originally pioneered in the 30s and that once upon a time fit energy companies, but decidedly does not fit a big data analytics broadband world. We haven't needed Title II level utility regulation to see companies like Netflix and Twitter and Google survive and thrive, and we don't need it going forward. In fact, imposition of Title II regulation would probably chill a lot of the investment that's making the bandwidth we need possible. Another good example might be the way the FDA looks at apps, particularly medical data collection apps. Right now, the FDA tends to have a one-size-fits-all model, which is anything we think is a health device, like a pacemaker, needs to go through, and understandably so, a process of review and approval before it can hit markets. There's a lot of apps that you might have on your cell phone, and there's a risk that the FDA is going to start seeing cell phones as medical devices and that marginal improvements or new apps have to go through the very rigorous regulatory review and approval at the FDA. That would be a bad mistake and it would slow down innovation in medical.